So I took the liberty of drawing the grid. I did the best I could. To do the center, I mean, this is the easy part. The center is the numbers that are with the x and the y, and you just switch them. So you're going to get a -2, switch it, and then you had a -1, so you switch it to +1. And then the radius is the square root of whatever is over there, radical 4. Square root of 4 is 2, so the radius is 2. Now, some of you are doing some weird stuff with this. All this does is help you figure out how far you go up, down, left, and right. You have to draw this dot. The center is x is -2, y is 1. So you have to come -2 to the left. 1, 2. And then 1 up. That's my center. I didn't draw it right. I'm going to be more accurate here. Trying to do it on an angle. There we go. That's my center. Everything is based on this dot. My radius is 2 inches, meters, feet, yards, whatever it is. I'm going to go starting, you put your pen or pencil on the center. And then I'm going to go up 2, 1, 2, and make another dot. Then I'm going to go back to the center, and I'm going to go down 2. Try not to ruin my dot. I'm going to go down 2, 1, 2. Now I'm going to go to the right 2. Again, go back to the center. Now I'm going to go 1, right? 1, 2. Make another dot. Back to the center. I'm going to go 2 to the left. 1, 2. So you go 1, 2. Make another dot. Now connect them with arcs. Right? I mean, you're drawing a circle. So make arcs. Is your circle going to look perfect? No. Does mine look perfect? No. It's circular. As good as it's going to get. Again, middle dot, up 2, down 2, right 2, left 2. And that's it. You make your pretty picture. So center, radius. The radius is just how far you go up and down. All right? You don't start at the origin. You have to start from the center of your circle. Okay, number 2A. A lot of people had trouble with this. This is where it starts to get very tricky. Now, your first step is to start rearranging this. You can't leave these next to each other with those there. So you want to take the 10x and put it with the x squared. You want to take the y squared and put it with the 6y. This 18 cannot stay on the same side. So move it. This is step 1. Notice I left a gap. Why? Because I know I'm going to put numbers there. I'm going to complete the square. You have to write this. This is your step, right? Put the x with the x and put the y with the y. Leave a little space. The number that's by itself goes to the other side. You switch it, right? The opposite of plus 18 is minus 18. That's why it's not there anymore. It's now on the other side. Now, take the number in front of x, cut it in half. That's positive 5. I have to do positive 5 times positive 5, right? That's what squaring is. Squaring is multiplying it by itself. That's why you don't put a 10 here. You don't put a 5 here. I do 5 times 5, which is 25. So I have to add 25 right there. But if I add 25 there, I have to add 25 to the other side to balance it out. Look at the number in front of the y. It's a 6. Cut that number in half, positive 3. Now times it by itself. You get positive 9, right? That's what squaring is. Complete the square. 3 times 3 is 9. Add it to both sides, right? I have to see this. Have to see that. You added 25 to both sides. Now, what you just built was a perfect square. Boom. What's missing here? I don't know. What's half of positive 10? Positive 5. Yay. Put a big ass plus. This is important. Adding. What am I adding? Y. I don't know what to put there. Half of positive 6. Positive 3. Squared. Oh, so many people are missing this. Now add up all these numbers. You get negative 9, you get 16. I did it like 3 different ways just in 2 seconds in my mind. You can do 25 minus 18, which is 7. 7 plus 9 is 16. I did 18. I did 9 take away 18, which is negative 9, and then subtracted 9 from that. You still get 16. So boom, standard form. So the center is -5, -3, and the radius is the square root of 16, which is 4. So the radius is 4. Done. Now I want to point out so many mistakes I saw. People were missing this. People were missing this. People were missing this. The circle has x squared and y squared. It has them both. You cannot exclude one. You know, if this is not there, this is not a circle anymore. You have x squared and y. That's actually a parabola. You need a squared on that. Some people didn't put the plus here. You know, if there's no plus, then there's a product, right? You need a plus here, right? It's positive, right? You're adding these things together. It's this dude plus this dude. That's why there has to be a square there. All right, so be very careful when you write these. There's so many ways you can write this wrong. So you have to be extra careful. I'm gonna do one more. Okay, so 2b. Now I took the liberty of already, this isn't how it was. It was x squared plus y squared plus 8x minus 2y. I rearranged it already, just for convenience. Now I'm gonna do the plus 8 to the other side. Now, I'm going to leave myself my gap, right? I need a space. I need a space here, plus y squared minus 2y. I need a space. My 8 is now all by itself on the other side. I have to put a number here, and I have to put a number here. I have to add something here, and I have to add something there. When I add those numbers, I'm going to add them to the other side. I don't know what they are yet. I'm going to figure them out. I'm going to take half of the number in front of the x. Half of 8 is positive 4. Put a circle around it. Now do 4 times 4. You get 16. Aha. So I'm going to add 16 here. Add 16 here. Take half of the number in front of the y. That's a -1. Put a circle around it. I'm going to do -1 times -1, right? I'm going to square it. Complete the square. -1 times -1 is positive 1. You have to make sure. Notice there are no minuses anywhere. This is all addition. Plus 16, plus 16. Plus 1, plus 1. There's no minus ones. I mean, when you cut this in half, you get a -1. But you have to add to both sides. Do not subtract anything. Remember, a perfect square is something times itself. A negative times a negative is a positive. There's never going to be a negative here. You can't subtract 16. That wouldn't be a perfect square. So now I have to factor this part. Just this. I'm going to factor it. How does it factor? X, you have a square there. I have to put something there. Whatever half of 8 was, positive 4. Then I have to put this big ass plus. Why? Well, there's a plus there. It drops down. This part right here, boom. See that? This dude is y. The number I put a circle around, squared. That's why you circle this number. Look, plus 4, plus 4. -1, -1. That's why you circle it. That number always goes in there. And then equal. Now what's on the other side? 25, right? 9 plus 16. 24, 25. Boom. Standard form. This is it. X squared, y squared, r squared. So the center, being lazy and not writing the word center, switch, switch. And then the radius is radical 25. So the radius is 5. Right? Again, you make sure you write everything properly. It's not that difficult, but there's a lot to keep track of. And you know, the answer has to be written in the proper form. X squared, y squared, r squared. All right, you have to make sure you show all the steps and all the work. Correct. Okay, problem 3A. Lost my lighting conditions, so they're less than ideal, but we'll do the best we can here. All right, so again, this problem was not done in the original video, so in case you can't tell that the board is completely different and I'm wearing a different polo, I have to complete the square to put this in the proper form. The issue is here. You don't have anything with this. Now, my first step is to move the number to the other side. Now, I know I need to create myself some space, so I will. I need a gap there. The problem is here. You don't need a gap there. Why don't you need a gap there? I don't have a y. I have nothing there, right? You have 0 y's. Now you don't write this there. This is pointless, but right, you don't have any y's. So if you were to cut this in half, you get 0, right? Half of 0 is 0. Half of nothing. And then if you were to square that, 0. So it's pointless. When there's no letter there, it's 0. So I know, without even doing anything, my center is going to look like this, right? There'll be some number, comma 0. You don't complete the square when there's nothing there. There's nothing to complete the square on. There's 0. So I only have to complete the square on this dude. So again, as if we haven't done it a million times, cut the number in front of the x in half, square it, add it to both sides. We'll do a plus 9 here. And just to really emphasize it, make sure you do it to both sides, because if you don't, right, you have a -8 there. What's your radius going to be? -8? -8 inches. That's a distance. You know, it doesn't work. So you have to make sure you add the number to both sides. Now, you have just completed the square over here. So this is x minus 3 squared plus what? Plus y squared. Now listen, if you want to get cute and write this down like the solvers will, I mean, if you want me to think that you did it on the computer, write this down. A human being will write this. You know, the solver will write y plus 0 because the solver automatically tries to cut the coefficient of the y in half, but there isn't one, so it just puts the 0 there. So don't do that. Write this down. 9 take away 8 is 1. Done. It's over. The center, switch him, switch nothing. Like I said, this is what it's going to look like. And then the radius is the square root of 1. And if you don't know by now that 1 times 1 is 1, come visit my remedial class. All right, so the radius is 1. The center is 3, 0. I took the liberty of making my grid already, so I'm going to fill in what I have. First, I told you draw the center. So 3, 0. You go right 3 and up and down none. You are right there on the x-axis. So now what was the strategy? Up 1, down 1, left 1, right 1. You're going to go 1 in every direction, right? The cardinal directions, north, south, east, west. So we're going to go up 1. Try to draw this as nice as I can. Up 1. Down 1. To the left 1. To the right 1. And then make a pretty circle connecting them all. Not bad. I got to fix that arc. I missed. I'll start it from the top and go down. That didn't work out too well either. I guess it's easier to go this way. That's better. That's a better arc. I just make 4 arcs. I don't actually try to draw a circle because it doesn't come out so good. Now remember, you have to label these points. So my original point was 3, 0. So to go up 1, right? Up and down is y. Up and down is y. So all I have to do is add 1 to this and subtract 1. Keep the x the same, right? When you go up 1, you get the point 3, 1, right? You just read it off the damn grid if you need to. And then this point is 3, -1. Easy peasy. Now, to do the left and right, the y value doesn't change, right? You're just going left and you're going right. You're not going up and down. X, look, see X. X axis is left and right. So this point is still going to have a 0 here, and it's still going to have a 0 here. I just have to add 1 and subtract 1. So when I go left, I take 1 away. That is the point 2, 0, and that is the point 4, 0, right? You just add 1. Boom. Labeled all 4 points, drew my pretty circle. It actually looks pretty good. I'm not unhappy with it. I've drawn worse. So again, this is the game. Complete the square, to put it in the proper form, read off the center, read off the radius, draw the center, and then go up, down, left, right. Make sure you label the points. You will lose points if they are not labeled properly or correctly. All right, so that was question 3A, and I believe in the other part of the video I did question 1 and 2. So we're all caught up. Now just add this question into the end of the video, and you'll never know that it happened, except that I'm wearing a different polo and the board is different.